And we have our CEO, Brandon McBain, who will give us a welcome. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Barnes. First and foremost, just want to say thank you to all you and for making the time to come on here. I know governance or business is not always everyone's favorite topic, but it's super important we have active membership within our organization. So I first and foremost want to applaud all you making the time, as Parnes mentioned, to come on here, discuss things as a division, conduct business. So thank you for making this a priority. And then I also just want to say thank you to the Adult Division Executive Committee. We are a member-driven organization, but volunteer-led. I will always say that. And leadership like Parnes, Buddy, Mark, the whole crew, they all spend countless hours, I know, meeting, discussing, uh, handling business for the division. And, us at the national office wouldn't be able to do what we do if we didn't have the volunteer and the service that they provide. So really appreciative of their time and effort. So yeah, with that, Barnes, look forward to listening and what you guys' division will discuss tonight and what you as a leadership team will present. But yeah, all ears. So thanks for the time.
Brandon, thank you as always. We are very appreciative of the support we get from the national office. And at this time, we would like to honor our members that are no longer with us with a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone. Uh, at this point, we have some elections and amendments, and I'd like to turn it over to Mark Gorman, who will go through the elections and the amendment.
Carnes, can you advance it? Okay, you did it. Okay, so to start it off, the first person that is up for for the positions available is Parnes as our chairman, and as you can see, he's unopposed. So that one is going to be pretty easy to vote for. And the second one is Jacob Couch, who is looking to help us at the at-large membership. Jacob has helped us in the past year because he filled the position of, oh guys, help me, I'm losing Wayne. What's Wayne's last name that unfortunately passed?
Bozeman.
Through his term, and so he has shown us, good ability to help us out, and not just us, the membership. And he's one active kind of guy. So we appreciate him. And again, at this point, he is unopposed. And then the other two appointed positions, these aren't up for election. Our new D3 rep is Blake Lofton, and our D3 rep is Jackson David. And so at this point, we don't have to do voting, correct?
Voting will actually take place, but would you also talk about the one amendment, please?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. And that amendment, let me bring that up. Where is it? Oh, I must have shrunk it there. Wait a second. Oh, sorry, man. I lost it for a second here. Where am I at here?
Take your time. We're okay.
No, I know. I got to get back into. Oh man, I closed out my email too. Okay. Barnes, do you have it? Can you put it up on the screen? If you have it, I can read it off. Oh wait, it's on the webpage, right? I was clarifying the time frame.
Yeah, I can do that, and
Okay.
I can share it. So
Yeah,
let
I will
me
make it. Say I had it and I closed it.
okay, share and see. Uh, see. I'll share it in a window.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, I got a bunch of documents. Actually, I can I'll can walk everybody through it. Hold on 1 second. Let's do it this way. Um, so, and what I'll do is I will see, share it like this, and it is. See, do it. So this proposal is a submission by me. It involves section Article 9, Section B, and it's paragraph 2. And the summary of the proposed change is uh, to further define the current cycle for national team players for any country. And the current guideline is for two. A Division II team must have a maximum of one current cycle U.S. national team player, U.S. 23 player, regardless of country. And the proposed guideline change is in addition to what I just said, and I will read it again. The Division II team must have a maximum of one current cycle U.S. national team player, parentheses, U23 national team, regardless of country. And the addition is current cycle is defined by the start of team or individual registration for the season, whichever is earlier, until the last day of the national tournament for the division or published end of the season, whichever is later. Any player that is considered part of any national team at any point in the season is considered in the current cycle. And the rationale for the change is in defining our policies and procedures, we want members to understand the policies and procedures for national team players, regardless of country. Okay. Hopefully everyone had a chance to read that. Um, and uh, any questions regarding that before we go to voting? Okay, so we shall move along to.
Does everybody understand what this change is? And if so, we will move on.
Hey, Barnes, this is Mike from Charlotte. I just wanted to clarify, is an alternate for one of the USA rosters, the U23, U25 senior team, is an alternate to one of those teams considered? Do they fit the definition of your amendment, or do they have to be on a roster that's going into competition?
Great question, and um, if you are considered in the pool of players that could possibly go, then yes, you're in the pool. So you do fit under that definition.
On the roster. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so you may not go to travel with the team, but since you are in the pool, you are considered part of the national team and in that cycle.
So
Does
if you
that
get
make sense?
invited to a tryout, you're in the pool.
No, if you get invited to a tryout, you have to be selected as part of the pool. You might not be selected as the
Well, because
player.
people don't get invited unless they're part of the pool. And I'm not asking to criticize the amendment. I'm just asking for clarification so we all know the rules.
Right. Yeah. So generally, when you're like considered like one of the alternates, and yes. So if you are invited and you are in that pool, yes, you are considered in that pool. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's just there's sometimes, in one year there could be 20 people invited to the U23, which they're generally going to be likely in college. It'll be a little different on the women's side because they might be out of college by the time they get to be 25. And then there could be 30 people invited to a senior team tryout. So it's a larger pool and would have a potentially larger impact on the D2 division. So that's the main reason I was asking.
Yeah, it's a great question. Uh, uh, One of the things that we are making sure is that we do maintain the balance of the D2 division. So generally, if you have two pool players, um, they are um, they are considered a Division One team. We're not telling people that they're not going to play, but they are considered a Division One team at that point.
Thank you.
Okay.
So does there need to be a change in the uh, proposal so that it's clear cut and not, you know, this question can be addressed and you can put in the pool of players or something like that? Does that need an amendment before we vote or?
Uh, well, that's first. I don't think so. But also that you can't do as well. You have to vote on the amendment as it is.
As it is, yeah. Because otherwise,
Um,
then it becomes next year's, so if we
right.
make changes,
So
it becomes next year's.
yeah.
So
So it is up for a vote this year, and it, um, uh, again, this is a clarification. This is so that there is an understanding. This is what we do already. It's just to make sure that we understand it.
And then if we don't, this can pass, but if you want to change it for next year, then you have to create an amendment to change it for next year, correct?
Okay. Correct. And Melanie, could I ask you to um, or was that Melissa?
Yeah, yep, it was Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
I think Mike raised a really good point. I didn't even read the amendment that way. Sometimes there's only a couple alternates, just depending on the cycle. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't have a son in the program, I don't, there's probably someone on here, maybe Brandon, you could address this, but I believe everyone was an alternate last week, right, on the men's team. So instead of any cuts, I believe all 8 were defined as alternates out of the 20. That just makes the pool much larger. So I'm just throwing it out there that I think it needs to be clear in the amendment to say, the entire team, including alternates. I think it has to be, otherwise it's too vague and up for subjectivity. So I think we need to make this clear for this to pass, yes or no, either way. That's just my recommendation or my 2 cents.
Okay. Melanie, that's a great point. I will let you know that right now the definition is the way the way we use it now is the way that the amendment is written. So even if we do not pass this, it's not as if this is not what we're going to do. This is how we're defining it right now. And what we're doing is it's not that we're not defining who the pool players are, but we're trying to just make sure that they understand the time frame of the pool. So, and I understand your concern, and I think it's a great concern. And but I think I think the amendment does work for having something that we can look at, and then maybe tweak as we move further down the road, if that makes sense. And thank you, Melissa. Again, those were all good points. Any other discussion? Okay. We will move to the voting, and the voting is now open on SurveyMonkey. And those of you that are eligible will get a link to vote. And
That link is in the chat. It's in the meeting
Yeah,
chat.
the link is in the chat for all of the team reps to vote. And if I think some of you saw the note earlier in the chat too. If you're a team rep for multiple teams, then please submit multiple votes, one for each team.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. And now we'll move on to the commissioner's report.
Hey, thanks, Barnes. I welcome everybody. Appreciate you joining us tonight. I want to say real quick hello to Joyce Pracky. It's good to see you. Thank you for jumping on. We missed you this year, being at the games and the tournaments. Just a recap of our 24-25 season. We had 107 registered teams. We had 19 in D1. We had 20 in D2. And 68 in Division III. In Division III, we had 13 probationary status teams, either new or they had dropped down from Division II. Transfers, we had 162. We had 39 in Division I, 48 in Division II, 75 in Division III. And we had 33 between season, 129 in season. We had 159 approved, 3 of them were denied. I do want to thank our conferences and our conference commissioners and their committees for what they do and their continued efforts to help and strengthen, promote conference membership. I want to say congratulations to our national champions this year, to the Division I Wassa Marquette Golden Eagles, Division II LWSRA Hawks, and Division III Texas Outlaws. It was a great tournament. Really exciting, especially the D1 and D2 game was very exciting. Moving on to challenges, we're still having issues across the country. It's gotten better the last couple of years, but with our team reps, team reviewers, and tournament directors, getting the team reps to understand that once their team roster has been submitted and approved for either Division II or III, any additions to their roster must be submitted for reevaluation of division status. And those players that they're new, if they have to transfer, then they need to transfer before they can play any sanctioned games. Still working with our classification rosters and making sure that's turned into to Jenny Chaluti and the classification committee. Submitting consideration of eligibility applications and getting the classification committee to approve. Anybody that's 4.0 or 4.5 has to submit that, especially if it's not an obvious disability before playing any sanctioned games. Also ensuring that the teams, that their team or the teams participating in any tournaments have all their athletes and non-athletes, their safe sports updated and certified before allowing them to play or even sit on the bench with our non-athletes. And of course, one of Paul Jackson of our committee and the ranking committee getting directors to submit game scores within 48 hours after the tournament. Still a problem nationwide, but for the most part, there's a lot of people that do a really good job of that, and we appreciate it. Like I said, the goals, what I just talked about is goals. It will help and educate the team reps. Still, I know there's going to be new ones this year, so we're going to educate them to on registration to once it's submitted their roster in D2 and D3 to help them know that they have to resubmit if they add anybody. We need to constantly do our help our team reviewers. We still need to have at least one team reviewer per team. I would like to see two, because if somebody can't come to a tournament or to a doubleheader game that some of the conferences do, they need to have somebody there that can evaluate some new players. And my last thing is a word of thanks. I want to thank Matt Pierre and the board of directors and the adult division committee for their leadership and working diligently for our membership. And the national office, I'd like to thank Brandon McBain, and especially with what he's stepping into now as our CEO, Tina Kaufman-Kane, Matt Torres, and the NWBA interns for all their hard work and due diligence in working through team and athlete, non-athlete registration, the event sanctioning, safe sports processes. You know, Matt does a great job of our social media and running the national tournament. But a lot of the little things, that everything that goes on day by day that people don't see, we really do appreciate it. Barnes, that's all I have. I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, and we also want to thank our newest member, Eric Grosinger. Eric has done a fabulous job, just jumping in 2 feet in, and very happy with all of his excitement and the work that he's done. So thank you very much. And if before we close the voting, we just want to make sure that nobody needs any more time to vote. And if we are good, I'll take the silence as
good.
As we're good. So voting is closed. And next we'll talk about team registration and individual registration. Team registration is opening this week. Any questions regarding team registration? Okay, and individual registration is opening on August 1st. Any questions on individual registrations?
Yeah, hi guys. This is Marsh. I have one question about individual registration. If a player has not registered for, let's say, over 2 years, can they still register in the same manners that they have previously?
Yes, yes, and the issue is that if they haven't registered for a couple of years, then they're it's making sure that they are registering. If they're registering with the same team, then that's they should do that. They're going to have to make sure that they do their safe sport, and they may have to. They don't have to do several safe sports, but they may be out of cycle, so they may end up starting again with the core course.
But don't create a new account when you're doing the sports engine. Safe sport, you might have to start from scratch, but the other, don't create accounts, because we had numerous people create multiple accounts. That causes a problem. So if they were in there before, try to find their old account. Or if not, we can teach the reps on how to combine the accounts and get those things squared away. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, you are exactly correct.
Okay.
We have several athletes, non-athletes that have multiple accounts. Some up to 7. And if you go in and look at their safe sport, they've had to take the main course over and over and over. Your safe sport does not follow you if you come in under a new ID and pass, new ID each year. So you have to do that. If you can't remember your ID and password, then you'll have to create a new one. But then you have to get in touch with Sports Engine and Safe Sport so they can combine all that. And that will follow you, plus your classifications as well. That's when I'll get people notice when they register that they don't see a classification for a player that's from the prior year that's played 2 or 3 years. I see that all the time, and it's because they went under a new ID, and it doesn't follow them unless you get everything merged together correctly.
And merging is hard.
Oh yeah, it's tough.
The folks at Sports Engine are pretty open to it. It's not like it's the first time they've ever done it, so they're good folks.
Right. And if you need any help, of course, any of us, myself, and any of the committee will be happy to help.
Okay.
Also, real quick, Barnes, if you don't care.
Sure.
If Harsh, that was a great question. There was a few people this past year that have come back to the league, haven't played since COVID, and they actually moved. Remember, if you come back and tell your players if they're coming back to the sport, of course, when they register, if they have moved, they have to complete transfers. If I wanted to play, if I wanted to come back and play, I haven't played since '93. But if I want to come back and play, I've still got to transfer to like Shepherd. If I want to play my closest D2 team. At Shepherd, I'll have to do it. And the last team I played for, my team of record was Chattanooga in 1993. It keeps a good trail.
That was 30 years, dude.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Transfer denied. Transfer
That's right.
denied.
That's right. I'm sure
I think
Gavin
you
and
should
Matt
be
would say
able to
that.
play. I'd vote for it.
Yep. But just for educating and to help people not get that transferring. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're doing all the dotting the I's and crossing the T's as far as that goes. I appreciate it, guys.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Any other questions on registration?
Dick, I have a quick
Sure.
question, Barnes.
Sure.
I have got a junior player that I've been coaching for the last couple of years, but I don't have enough kids to have a team here. So he's been playing in Alabama. He's 12, so he's still playing with them, but I'm going to, or I'd like to put him on my adult roster this year. How does that work as, he's that good. How does that work? Because he would register as a junior for us, but he's going to be registered in Alabama as well. Do I have to do anything? I've never experienced anything like this, so I'm not sure how that works.
Okay, so Alabama's a team that way he can play with the juniors, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right. And then, so there is a section for the player to say, are you with another team? And he can say yes, and then he could add your team.
Okay. But he would still register as a junior for us, right?
He only has to complete the junior registration if he's a junior athlete. And within the junior athlete registration, there's a section where you can ask to to be added to an adult team. So you cannot play for two adult teams, you cannot play for two junior teams, but you can play for a junior team and an adult team. And it's a section on the junior application. So if you have any junior athletes that you have on your team, if they're playing on an adult team, they only have to complete the junior athlete registration. I know sometimes people submit both. You don't have to submit both. You only have to submit the junior athlete and then just follow up with us if they're not showing up on your roster, because it's a separate process that we in the office have to go to verify them and add them to the adult roster.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Another good question. Any other questions?
Yeah, what is price on the team registration?
Early registration price, EG, is that still 700?
Sorry, I muted myself. Yes, the early registration price is $700. That'll end on September 19th, and it'll go up to $900. And that's the same team pricing structure that we've had last year. Brandon just shared the link with. We've been making announcements on our social media and on our website for the past week with all the updates on team and individual registration dates and prices. You can double check that as well.
Thank you, EG, and thank you, Brandon. Any other questions?
Is there going to be any multiple team discounts?
Again, great question. EG, Brandon. I think Keith, I think there has been there may have been in the past. I don't know if it's continued, but we can make sure that somebody reaches out to you. Will that work for you, sir?
That's fine.
Okay.
Can they also reach out to the Merit Free Bed program for multiple team discount?
Yes. Absolutely.
Also, I have another question.
Sure.
And the Sharks. Sorry.
Okay.
Individual registration, is that going up? My question?
The individual registration has remained unchanged from last year. The pricing. There will be a similar early registration window and then open registration window. Should be very similar to the date should be very similar to last year, and the price should be the same as last year from last year as well.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Eric.
Someone else
Eric,
had a
you
question?
Is Eric still there?
Yes.
Eric, could you answer the question regarding multiple team discounts for the membership?
That's not something that's in the books right now.
Yeah.
It was not brought up to the board when the fee structure was approved. But if there's interest in that in the future, it can be brought up in the future.
Okay. Thanks, Eric.
I would like to bring that up for the future. If y'all
Sure.
could look into some discounts for teams that have multiple teams, that'd be appreciated. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Keith.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding there's historically an additional fee for D3 teams that's considered a development fee. Where does that money go and what is it used for? It's Ann from Brooks.
Hi, Ann. Typically, that money is used to help people have classification tournaments. Um, uh, so let's say that you have some new players that need to be classified. Maybe you need to get them to a tournament. Um, you D3 teams can submit paperwork to get a portion of that money.
It also goes for referee clinics. It could help with player clinics, anything that's related to helping Division III.
Is there any?
It's a one pager. Really fill in the blanks. And I don't know anyone that has ever been refused or getting
But
some sort of help.
it's underutilized.
Don't think it's ever clear what the money is for or that those are options for people. Like I've not seen that anywhere. So just a suggestion, making it clear what that money is available to teams for.
Sure.
Yeah.
And do we have a amount somewhere that's listed of how much we have in that kitty, so we know as an organization?
Yes. And it's approximately $7,000. Because again, this is Mark Corman, and again, it's been kind of underutilized, again, because we just haven't over advertised, et cetera. And so it has accumulated. And so it is available, and it's in the ballpark of about $7,000. It is listed as a separate item that is, Brandon keeps track of. Officially, it's my responsibility as the treasurer, but some rules across state lines don't allow me to be treasurer anymore, so Brandon keeps track of it.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Ann. I hope that helps. And any other registration questions? Okay.
I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
This is Cynthia. This is Cynthia from the Sunwellers. Why is it that we have to do separate registrations for individuals when they already register as individuals as a team rep?
A separate registration for individuals when they register as a team rep?
No, the team rep has to do a roster registration when they're already registered, when the individual is already registered as a team member.
Okay. What you're saying is, so the question is, if the team rep is registering the team, is that what you're saying? They're registering the team. Why would they do an
Correct.
individual registration?
Well, they're doing individual registration, but how come that doesn't transfer over and just a verification? But as a team rep, you have to register each individual when you're doing your team registration.
When you're doing your team registration, you're actually not registering any other individuals. You're just registering your team. You might be listing the people for your roster, but that's not considered a registration. Does that make sense?
Oh, but okay, thank you.
Okay, all right. Look, mean,
I'm having to put in addresses, phone numbers, everything, and I'm
yeah.
like, But they're already registered. Why am I have to duplicating this information?
Right. So the team registration starts before individual registration. And I know it was much easier when the team rep could just register their players. They didn't have to search them down and make sure that they were doing everything. But uh, Mr. Nasser made sure that we are doing individual registrations now, and it's better for our sport.
But is there some duplicity to that then?
Well, we have to make sure that this is government mandated that
Okay,
we
so
do
it is
safe sport.
double checking. Yep.
So
Okay.
yes,
Unfortunately, it is a level of double checking. Okay.
yes,
Yucky, but okay.
yes. Okay. Any questions regarding the postseason's the timeline is on the it's on the website. I'm sure everybody's seen it, so it really hasn't changed very much. So from last year, I won't go over it. If there are no real questions, we got that. And this was just some open Q&A questions. Any other questions?
This is Anne with Brooks again. I have
Okay.
lots of questions.
Okay.
I guess one of the questions we have is regarding a player when they're reclassified. It was our understanding, so you pay before you go in. We had our player reclassed, and it was our understanding if they were reclassed, you were then refunded your money. Is that true? And if that's true, how do we make that happen? Because thus far, the refund has not occurred.
Okay, so this was a refunding. You challenged the classification, and the classification was changed. And if you send me the information, I can double check with that about that.
All right, thanks, Barnes.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we'll go to the election results. If Tina, do you need a little bit more time? Or maybe I think you might have
No.
text. Okay.
Nope, I think we're all good. I think we got all the votes counted and verified, and we're all good. So Barnes and Jacob have a unanimous vote of confidence. So congratulations to both of you for those positions. And then the guideline amendment proposal did not pass, so it's a failed vote.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And with that being said, Paul Jackson, are you still in the meeting?
Yes.
Paul, if you please.
Well, we had a very successful,
Oh, I think we're on the slide. If you can see the slide?
adjournment. Oh, move to adjourn.
Paul Cowan?
I second the motion. We're still together, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight.
All right, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks,
night.
Barnes.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thanks, guys.
Have a
Thanks,
nice
everyone. Hey, buddy.
All right. And Tina, I didn't make it. It wasn't 20 minutes.
I think we still have some questions out in the
Sure.
air before we move to adjourn. I think I have a question since
Oh,
that.
okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know it just got moved along. I think since that amendment didn't pass,
Mhm.
what is the next steps? And then I saw somebody else had some questions in the thing. So I think we need to decide to talk about what happens next from that
Well,
amendment that didn't pass.
Can anyone hear me?
yes.
This is Steve Wilson. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I still ask a question?
Sure, Steve. And let me.
I don't want to interrupt Keith. Keith, I'll go
Yeah.
after you if you have questions.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's do
sure.
Keith.
Yeah. Okay. So, Keith, since the amendment didn't pass, uh, 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 obviously we can, if we want to do something about having something that might be a little bit clearer, we can certainly put it up for vote in our next annual meeting. For right now, it's just that the um, policies and procedures remain the same as it was in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And Steve, yes.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know, I put in a proposal to have able bodies play in just Division One, and I submitted this in February. I guess my question one is, I talked to Buddy and Parnes this morning at like 7:20, and that's when I found out that it was already voted, that it wasn't going to be voted on. So I think the committee made the decision that it wasn't going to be pushed past here to be voted on for next season. I guess my question is, isn't it respectful to communicate to the person that proposed that before I have to contact you the day of the proposal?
And Steve, I'm gonna add in on that. In 2019, we did the same thing, and the same thing happened. So this is a pattern.
So my point is, I heard Brandon say that this community and the NWBA is member organization. And my perspective on this is the members never get to make the decision on this rule for Division One. It never gets there. So I guess I would have been really happy instead of disappointed to get a hold of that when you guys made that decision in June, so I could have made changes so it could have still been pushed through, I would have hoped. Because my second question is, in college division, men's and women, able bodies have played for almost 10 years. And it's not a pilot program, it's just in their divisions. So I guess my confusion on that is, why can't it happen in Division One? It doesn't have to happen in Division Two, Division Three. It should be at the highest division, because I believe if an able-bodied person is going to play at the highest classification, if they don't train and work their butt off to be as good as these amazing athletes, they're not going to get on the court anyways.
Okay. So I can address it. First of all, let me apologize about the communication part about this. Okay. That is on us. Second, just to give you an idea, I see that you actually sent the email to Buddy on March 30th.
Okay.
Okay. And Buddy contacted me April 1st because he forwarded me your proposal, and he had me look at it. Now, your proposal was addressed to the bylaws and the rules committee. All right, and somehow it got it got to us because it in April, um, if you're doing this for the adult division, and I understand that the other divisions do it. And you and I spoke a little bit about how that came about. But in the adult division, this would be, since it goes against what is in the policies and procedures of the NWBA, and mainly the main issue, which used to be in the bylaws, they've moved it to policies and procedures, but it's now, but it's still, you have to have a lower limb disability, which is governed by the classification committee. So, so there are two parts to this. The classification committee is putting together a governing document, or revising the governing document. In the meantime, this was given to us um, as a proposal that we would have to deal with, and the idea is, because we cannot override what's in the what's in those documents, um, it is deemed for a pilot program. Now, we are not just some random body. We are also members of we are members of the committee, and we're part of the NWBA, and we're the smallest group of the big group. So we are trying to help all the members. And I know you said that this only affects the adult division, but that's not true, because the only reason we're talking about this is because this happened in another division. So that other division is affecting our division. And again, they it was something that they did which was not correct. They went against the bylaws after it was voted down. So uh, we are looking at we looked at the way of doing this, which is the committee brings a pilot program. Now, your proposal was not written in a scientific way where you're really you have ideas that, yes, this will make the wheelchair basketball um, uh, uh, more popular amongst the community. But there should be that. But if this is done, you should have some data behind that.
I don't mean to interrupt. I agree. That's why I wish somebody would have gotten back to me before this morning, and I could have tried to put together something you would more like for that proposal. That's my point.
Okay. Yeah, and
that would have assisted me in making modifications to help you guys better understand what we wanted. That's the point I was trying to make.
And Steve, what I wanted to tell you was the timeline. April 1st, on April 1st, the Junior Nationals is like getting ready to start April 2nd, or getting ready for that. So Buddy was on the road. I was running some programs because I had a visiting group, actually a group from Israel that actually did a wheelchair basketball game at the university for the first time in history. And so I know. Look, that's to say that yes, I know we're all busy, and it's not. But it's we should have gotten back to you. The reason is because we decided to discuss it in the committee. We met in June. All right, and when we met in June, we decided that we were not going to go forward with it, and you were supposed to be contacted then, but we were asked to hold off because the governing documents that were supposedly coming out may change that, and still may. I don't know, but those governing documents are not ready yet. Okay. Um, so we were asked to hold off. We did, and uh, probably a better plan was to just loop you in and say, hey, here's how we're going. Here's how we're going. So again, my apologies for that, Steve. And you're welcome to. Uh, you're welcome to see if there's something that actually makes a better fit for what we do. Um, I will say that um, I still find it where uh, we as the Wheelchair Basketball Association allow able-bodied players, but I don't see able-bodied players allowing wheelchair basketball players, um, court time, etc. Um, if that person decides that they don't want to play wheelchair basketball anymore, they will just get up and go to a court and say, "Hey, I got next." And I wish that wheelchair basketball players had that same option.
Parnes, I agree with you wholeheartedly about that comment, and I will tell you in Milwaukee that is happening. So in our community, we are very, very inclusive of both able-bodied and wheelchair basketball users. And so I don't think that's across the country, quite honestly. I'll also say that we claim at the NWBA that we're an inclusive sport, but we aren't at some levels. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I would agree, and I thank you for that. There are I've got a meeting tomorrow with trying to get gym time because I there is going to be a wheelchair basketball program at a university in Florida for the first time in history. Barry University, a Division II school with no money, and they're certainly not doing it. But I've had students raise money through shoe donations and just friends and family that have donated enough money to start a division, start in the adult division, and the 5-year plan is to have men's and women's team in the collegiate division, and I think we're going to do that. But yes, we're not inclusive, but the world is not inclusive either, and it is it's such a fight, and I think that I would love to see wheelchair basketball being played professionally in this country, um, and I think maybe when that happens, maybe I'll feel like there is a little bit more give. But I know that Tim Nugent was very adamant about it, um, and what you guys are doing in Wisconsin is admirable. I take my hat off to all the work you guys are doing.
Can you explain how the women have an AB rule and that doesn't violate the larger governing body of the NWBA and their guidelines? Just help me understand that better. And I don't think I'm the only one who doesn't quite follow. I guess I understand your college rule change you felt wasn't done accurately, but how did the women's division, how were they able to add ABs several years ago and not violate the larger body?
I am not part of the women's division, so I don't know when it came about. I do know that uh, as more and more this idea of moving away from those documents that are supposed to govern who is eligible and who is not have been have become a little bit more flexible, a little bit more watery. So
So
go ahead.
So just to challenge you, so you guys unilaterally made this decision not to move this amendment forward, but didn't look at the women's division where it existed. So I guess my as a member-driven organization, I just throw caution to that, and I would hope that the staff at the NWBA would bring some consistency across all divisions, at least how this moves forward. I'm extremely disappointed there was a lack of communication, and I would have rather had the vote been voted down versus no vote. Then the members are speaking, and right now I feel like we have a small group of executive membership that made this decision without understanding how it affects people that have multiple teams, like a Wausau that has a women's division, that has some ABs on the women's division, and so on and so forth. So I'm just confused by that and disappointed, and I'll just leave it at that. Now we have to wait another year because of poor communication and lack of following the rules across the board more consistently.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the reason that we're talking is because the rule was broken years ago. And so again,
I think that is your analysis or your summary of it. I think the women's division, I think Darlene would very much disagree with you on that. But
I'm sure. I'm sure I'm sure Darlene would. And I'm not saying that the women's division did anything wrong. I do know that I do remember when the vote was taken in 2015, and in 2016, people found out that, oh, there's an able-bodied person playing in the collegiate division. And so I think that while this is accepted, we are more traditional. We try to follow the guidelines as it was, and the guidelines said that we're the ones that are supposed to decide that. Again, I apologize about the communication, and I will take ownership on that. Uh, uh, just because I'm part of the NWBA. I always have been. I've been in leadership since for 12 years. So I wanted to make sure that Steve knew as quickly as possible. I found out late, kind of later in the day that you weren't informed. And I'll take ownership for that. So yeah, I agree. It's we want to be better. We want to be better at different things, and we want to listen to membership. So yeah, we will hopefully be better, and I know yeah, we'll have to wait another year, but this was not something the way it was proposed that we would vote on and it would go through as something that would happen. It's not. That's not the way it is supposed to be done. So, but we can figure out something, and the proposal, like I said, came to us. Maybe it would be better to actually propose it to the as a General Assembly change for the NWBA policies and procedures.
But then if that gets voted down, if someone were to do that, then what, you go back to the women's and the college division, and then all of a sudden that that changes all those rules. So I think there's some caution for that too. I just think it has to be really thought out what rules can go at the division level and what rules go at the overall NWBA, and there needs to be consistency. And that's my whole point, is just there's a lack of consistency in general with what rules can be at a divisional level and which ones aren't.
Okay. All right. Good. And great point. Great point. Okay. All right.
Appreciate that, Melissa.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Shall we have a move to adjourn from someone?
I'll move to adjourn once I'm speaking. Excuse me,
Okay.
Melissa.
Okay,
Second.
Melissa, thank you. All right.
I'll call it in. We'll second it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Thank you for your comments, and much appreciated. And I hope you guys have an enjoyable evening.
Good job, Pern. See ya.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Take care.